Hi everyone, welcome to Real English, where you learn natural English for real life. I am Paul.
And I am Emily. Let us get started.
Today we are going to talk about a very specific type of modern workplace stress. It is a situation that combines the anxiety of travel with the absolute panic of a technology failure. We are talking about business trips.
Oh, business travel. It sounds so glamorous until you are actually doing it. You are exhausted, you are in a different time zone, and your entire professional life depends on a single piece of hardware in your backpack.
Exactly. And the scenario we are tackling today is the IT preparation conversation. Imagine this. You are an engineer or a manager. You have a massive project site visit next week. You know you are going to be working from airport lounges, hotel rooms, and client offices.
And you need your technology to work perfectly. You cannot afford to open your laptop and spend 2 hours dealing with system updates, locked permissions, or broken network connections. You need to be able to open the lid and instantly get to work.
That is the dream. But communicating that need to your IT department, or even just setting those expectations with your team, requires highly specific professional English. If you just walk up to the IT desk and say, "Please make my computer good for my trip," they are not going to give you the configuration you actually need.
They will just make sure it turns on and hand it back to you. ESL learners often struggle here because they know what they want technically, but they lack the corporate vocabulary to demand a seamless, travel-ready setup. They end up dealing with frustrating roadblocks while out on the road.
Today, we are going to fix that. We are going to teach you exactly how to request a flawless open-and-go hardware configuration before a big business trip. We are going to use a framework we call the P.R.E. method. P.R.E.
And pre-P是来 topisti afdelang. Ifefini. But P stands for predict the environment. You cannot just tell IT you are traveling. You have to predict and communicate the specific digital environments you will be in.
Right. You say, "I am going to be relying heavily on public hotel networks," or "I will be in a secure facility with zero internet access." By predicting the environment, you give IT the context they need to configure your security and access rights.
Exactly. Next is the R. R stands for request the configuration. This is where you state exactly how you need the machine to behave. You do not just ask for software, you ask for a specific user experience. You say, "I need the operating system configured for an instant-on experience."
When I am on the road and I open this laptop, I need to bypass any lengthy boot sequences and have immediate access to my remote desktop environment.
That sounds so professional. Instant-on experience. Finally, the E stands for establish a backup. Technology fails, especially when you are traveling. You need to establish exactly what the protocol is if your system crashes while you are 1,000 miles away from the IT desk.
You say, "If the remote access fails, what is our offline contingency plan?" Or, "I need administrative privileges temporarily unlocked so I can troubleshoot network drivers myself if I get stuck."
Predict the environment, request the configuration, establish a backup. The P.R.E. method ensures you never get stranded with a useless piece of metal on a business trip. Now, let us pack your vocabulary suitcase with our 5 pocket words for today.
Word number 1 is an adjective, seamless. This is the ultimate goal of any technology. A seam is the line where 2 pieces of fabric are sewn together. If something is seamless, it means there are no bumps, no interruptions, and no rough transitions.
You say, "I need a seamless transition between my office network and my travel setup. I do not want to reconfigure my IP addresses every time I open the laptop."
Word number 2 is a phrasal verb, boot up. We do not say turn on the computer in a professional IT context. We say boot up. But more importantly, when traveling, you care about the boot up time.
You can say, I need to minimize the boot up time. When I am rushing between flights, I need this machine ready to use the second I open the screen.
Word number 3 is a hyphenated adjective, pre-configured. This means set up in advance. You never want to configure software while traveling. You want it done before you leave the building.
You say, I need my VPN and all my remote desktop shortcuts entirely pre-configured before my flight on Tuesday.
Word number 4 is a noun, contingency. A contingency is a backup plan for when things go wrong. It is a highly professional corporate word.
You do not say, what if it breaks? You say, we need a contingency plan in case the hotel firewall blocks my access to the company's server.
And word number 5 is a phrase, offline environment. We are so used to being connected, we forget that travel often means no Wi-Fi. You have to prepare your computer for an offline environment.
You say, I need to make sure all my current project directories are synced locally so I can continue working in an offline environment during my flight.
Seamless, boot up, pre-configured, contingency, and offline environment. Use these words and your IT department will respect your requests. Now, let us step into the Smooth It Out clinic to fix those awkward literal translations.
Let us start with the main request. An employee might go to the IT desk and say, I am going on a trip. Please make my laptop open and work immediately.
That sounds a bit too simple. We want to sound like a professional planning a critical workflow. Smooth it out by saying, I need this laptop set up for a seamless open and go experience while I am traveling.
Open and go experience. I love that. What about when you are talking about the operating system? A learner might say, I want my Windows to start very fast when I lift the screen.
Let us upgrade that using our pocket words. You say, I need the operating system optimized to bypass long boot-up sequences so it is instantly accessible from sleep mode.
How about dealing with software updates? The worst thing is opening your laptop at a client meeting and seeing a mandatory update screen. A learner might say, please turn off the updates for my trip.
Smooth it out and sound more technical. You say, could we temporarily suspend any forced system updates? I cannot risk my machine getting locked into a reboot cycle while I am out in the field.
And finally, talking about needing to work without internet, learners often say, I want to use my files when I have no Wi-Fi.
That is perfectly understandable, but we can make it corporate. You say, I need to ensure my core working directories are fully cached for an offline environment.
Excellent upgrades. It is time to put all of this into action. Let us move to the main event, the practice conversation.
The scenario is this. I am a senior system design engineer. I am flying out tomorrow for a massive multi-day site inspection. I am going to be moving between airports, high-speed trains, and a construction site.
And I am the lead IT manager for the company. Paul has brought his company laptop to my desk.
My goal is to ensure that this laptop is a perfect weapon for my trip. I do not want any friction. I want to be able to open the lid on the train and instantly start reviewing my engineering blueprints. I am going to use the P.R.E. method to predict my environment, request my specific configuration, and establish a backup.
I will play the busy IT manager. Listen to how Paul clearly communicates his needs without using basic robotic English. Here we go. Hi, Paul. I see you put a high-priority hardware ticket in the system this morning. You are heading out to the new site tomorrow, right? What do you need from us?
Hi, Emily. Yes, my flight leaves tomorrow at 6 a.m. I brought my machine down because I need to ensure it is completely optimized for a heavy travel schedule. I am going to be dealing with some very unpredictable environments over the next 4 days.
Okay, unpredictable how? What kind of networks are we talking about?
I will be bouncing between airport Wi-Fi, mobile hotspots on the train, and the client's guest network, which I know is heavily firewalled. Because I am moving so fast, my biggest priority is an instant-on workflow.
What exactly do you mean by an instant-on workflow for this machine?
I need the operating system configured so that the second I open this laptop on the train, it is ready to go. I want a completely seamless transition from sleep mode. I cannot afford to wait for network authentications or long boot-up sequences every time I open the lid. It just needs to work instantly.
I understand. We can definitely adjust the power and sleep settings in the OS to maximize that instant wake capability. We will also make sure your biometric login is prioritized so you bypass the password screens.
That would be perfect. Secondly, because of those firewalled networks, I need to make sure my remote desktop access is entirely pre-configured. If I am sitting in the client's office, I need guaranteed secure access back to our main engineering server to pull the heavy blueprint files.
I will update your VPN client right now and force a new security certificate. That should allow you to punch through most standard hotel or corporate guest firewalls.
Excellent, but that brings me to my last point. We need a contingency plan. If their firewall is completely locked down and my remote desktop fails, I cannot just sit there with a blank screen. I need to be able to work in a strictly offline environment.
Okay, what is the contingency you are proposing?
I need you to temporarily grant me local administrative privileges on this machine for the next 4 days. If the network drops, I need the ability to manually override the cloud sync and access the locally cached versions of the blueprint directories without the system demanding an admin password.
Giving out local admin rights is usually against policy, Paul. You know that.
I do know that, but the risk of me not being able to present the designs to the client is much higher than the security risk of a temporary 4-day admin pass. I am completely fine with you revoking the privileges the second I log back into the office network next Monday.
Fair enough. You are right. The client presentation is the priority. I will write an exception script to grant you local admin rights for 96 hours. It will automatically expire on Monday morning. I am also pushing a command now to suspend all forced Windows updates so you will not get caught in a reboot cycle while you are out there.
Emily, you are a lifesaver. A seamless, pre-configured machine is exactly what I need to survive this trip. I will leave the laptop with you for the next hour to run those scripts.
Sounds good, Paul. Come grab it before 5 o'clock. Have a safe flight tomorrow.
And scene. That is how you command an IT department.
Paul, you were so assertive but completely professional. You did not just ask for a good computer, you painted a picture of exactly how you needed to use it.
That is the power of predicting the environment. When I told you about the airports, the trains, and the heavy firewalls, you instantly understood why I was making these demands. I gave you the business context for the technical request.
And your phrasing for the configuration was brilliant. You asked for an instant-on workflow and said, "The second I open this laptop, it is ready to go." As an IT manager, I know exactly what settings to change in the operating system when you